guys, so welcome back to the Coffee and Hero Show for this week's second episode, taking you through the new single issues, going on to the racks. Plenty of good stuff this week. It is a slightly quieter week when it comes to DC and Marvel, but there's an absolute ton of independent releases and some big ones at that. So we're going to kick things off with Marvel. What we've got here is, first of all, Annihilation 2099. So we're hitting issue 4 of this one. Silver Surfer 2099 versus Mephisto. Who's not in for that? Next up, we have Captain America, number 11. So continuing on then with the J. Michael Straczynski run, which has been great so far. Jesus Says on art. We have the final issue this week, rather nicely timed, of Deadpool Wolverine, World War III. So this was just a 3-issue series from Joe Kelly and Adam Kubert. Slightly thicker issues each time, so it comes to an end this week. On the mutant side of things, the new release this week is NYX. So again, brand new number 1, new starting point for new readers. So it's Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing on that. And obviously focusing on some of the younger mutants like Miss Marvel, Laura Kinney, etc. A little bit of Star Wars for you with Star Wars Darth Vader this week. We're as far as issue 48. My suspicions were indeed correct that this run is going to end at 50. And when it relaunches at 1. This run was set between Empire and Jedi. And the next run is going to be set between Jedi and Force Awakens. So, clearly I know what I'm talking about in this game. Or I just got lucky. Strange Academy Blood Hunt, issue 3 of 3. So the last issue for the tie-in series for Blood Hunt. Next up from the Ultimate Universe, we have Ultimate Black Panther. We're as far as issue 6 already, which is crazy. Feels like the Ultimate Universe just launched yesterday. So nice to see that continuing to grow nicely. We have Vengeance of the Moon Knight, number 7. Again, a tie-in to Blood Hunt. Moon Knight has certainly been more important than some of the other tie-ins. Hardly surprising, I suppose, given that Jem McKay is on both titles. So that's Vengeance of the Moon Knight. We have Venom Separation Anxiety, number 3. David Michelini, Rafael Sandoval on art for that. And then a couple more just to finish off on Marvel. We have Venomverse Reborn. We're at issue 2 now for this one. There is a facsimile this week of Wolverine number 88. This is an issue from December 88, which obviously depicts Deadpool and Wolverine fighting. So, again, all about that timing. And then we finish off Marvel with Wolverine Blood Hunt, issue 4. So, again, the last issue of the tie-in miniseries. Next up for DC, we have Absolute Power Origins. So this is going into the origins of Amanda Waller. I may have already read this, and it is awesome. John Ridley's writing this one, just really, really good stuff. We don't really have a definitive origin for Waller, so it was really interesting to see that. Next up, we have Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 2. So again, each issue is going to focus on different versions of Failsafe that Waller has imprinted with different Justice League members' abilities. So issue 2 for this one, obviously Aquaman related. After that, we have Batman Dark Age, book 4. Mark Russell and the Allreds continuing on this alternative history or alternative origin for Bruce Wayne. Been really, really good that so far. Next up, we have Detective Comics 1087. I believe 1088, or is it 1089? Maybe 1089 is Ram's last issue. So we're coming towards the end of the Ram v. Running Detective Comics. Exciting times for taking over, actually. I mean, I was sad to see Ram leaving, but Tom Taylor's taking over, so that's not a downgrade in any way. Next up, we have The Flash, number 11. So The Flash is interesting because issue 10 seemed to have its Absolute Power tie-in. And now they've decided, we don't want any more of that. So it's back to just being its own thing. Issue 11 this week, Cy Spurrier, of course. Writing duties. Next up, we have Green Arrow. This is an Absolute Power tie-in. We're as far as issue 14 now. So Joshua Williamson continuing on Green Arrow. We have Harley Quinn, number 42 this week. So Tini Howard and Sweeney Boo on that one. For Harley. A big one definitely this week. It's almost more like an indie book, but it is published through DC, is The Nice House by the Sea. So, of course, Nice House by the Lake was one of the best titles of the last few years. James Tynion, Alvaro Martinez Bueno on art, Jordi Belair on colours. And it did brilliantly in its own right. So now we have a sequel series, The Nice House by the Sea. So issue 1 is this week if you want to get in on that on the ground floor. And then we finish off DC with Zatanna Bring Down the House, issue 2. Loved first issue of this, especially the art by Javier Rodriguez is superb. And it's Mariko Tamaki on writing duties. So we move from DC and on to the indie side of things. So we'll kick things off with a big distillery release this week, which is The Big Burn, which looks to be a crime saga. This is by Joe Henderson and Lee Garbet, who of course did Skyward together, as well as a few other books. What was the other one they did? Was really good, Shadecraft. So they're stepping into the distillery world with that. So again, brand new number one. We have a new number one this week, or a new one-shot for Berserker. Berserker, A Faceful of Bullets. So continuing to flesh out the Berserker world with these oversized one-shots each time. So Kenny Reeves, Jason Aaron, Salvador LaRocca, and Lee Lockridge working on that. We move on from there and on to Conan. Conan the Barbarian reaches issue 13. So again, Jim Zub continuing to do the Lord's work with this. Doug Braithwaite on art for this one. This week sees the release of the last issue of Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives. So these Universal Monster series, they tend to be 4 issues at a time. So we've already had Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Next one up is Frankenstein as well. Next up is a facsimile for Doctor Who. So New Adventures with the 10th Doctor. So it's a perfect facsimile reprint of issue 1 of that. So obviously focusing on the 10th Doctor there. This is definitely what I'm looking forward to this week, which is Epitaphs from the Abyss. This is a little bit of a regeneration for the EC Comics label, which of course was so synonymous with sort of violent and horror-based comics. Eventually got them banned and you know, all kinds of uproar and all the rest. But it's great to see it's another anthology book. Some great names working on this, the likes of Chris Condon, Brian Azzarello. Again, anthology-based. So I'm really looking forward to tucking into that one myself. Speaking of horror anthologies, this week sees the release of Hello Darkness from Boom Studios. So again, this is focusing on the horror side of things. You've got Garth Ennis writing in this. You've got Becky Clune. You've got James Taylor IV. You've got Werther Dell'Edera on art. You've got, you know, tons and tons of great people working on this. I may have already read this. It was great. So that is that. Again, we've ordered big on that one. After that, we have Keen Spawn, number 36. Don't know if you've seen the news about the Spawn movie getting greenlit and having a script out there, which they're calling Keen Spawn. Now, I don't know if it's direct relation to the Keen Spawn run or if it's just a title change, but new issue out this week anyway. Todd McFarlane there and Sean Alexander. This week sees the release of Nemesis Rogues Gallery. So this is the follow-up to the rather great Mark Miller big event over the whole Miller World line, which was called Big Game. Nemesis finds himself at a low ebb, but someone that powerful, someone that rich is never out of the fight. Next up is Spawn Kills Every Spawn. So looks like a slightly more fun Spawn title. I mean, McFarlane can't help himself at the moment, just pumping these titles out to say the least. But good to see John Layman writing on it there, so you know that'll have a good sense of humour. We have the Supermassive one-shot this week. So Supermassive for the last couple of years have always done a sort of one-shot, bringing all the titles together in an adventure, letting you know the State of the Union in the Massive-verse. So that is this week. After that, we have undoubtedly the biggest release this week, I would say, which is, drumroll please, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1. So Jason Aaron is taking over. Joelle Jones is on art for the first issue. I believe the first 4 issues are going to focus on a different member of the Turtles each time. Really good idea, core concept. Really good way of reintroducing Turtles to a new audience. Really looking forward to tucking into that as well. Definitely the biggest title this week, I would say. And then we finish off this week with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 122. So Darkest Hour continues. Melissa Flores on writing duties there. So that's everything going on to the racks. I did have some variants made up, but who knows where they are. Hold on, through the power of editing. And we're back with the variants. Power of editing. So we kick things off with Detective Comics. This is the retailer incentive 1 to 25 by Sebastian Fiumara. So we kick things off with that. Next we go on to, these are continuing the variants done by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. So they're almost like the DC sort of stock images for how the characters should look, how they should move. So we got Flash and Green Arrow this week. For Zatanna Bring Down the House, we have this lovely variant from Ariel Diaz as well. A couple of variants for Berserker, Faceful of Bullets. So first of all, we've got the Virgin variant cover, retailer incentive 1 to 10 by Matteo Scalera. There are foil covers for it as well. So we have the Francesco Mana foil variant cover, as well as the Matteo Scalera variant foil cover as well. Then I've mentioned Epitas from the Abyss, so we've got a gold version, foil version of the same cover. Lee Bermeo on art for that, so you know it was going to look good. We also have the retailer incentive 1 to 10 variants for it as well, which is an homage variant to some of their earlier covers done by Jay Stevens. We have Something Is Killing the Children, the 5-year anniversary gold foil variant cover as well. And then we finish off with the Jay Gonzo variant cover for TMNT number 1. So yeah, that's everything going on to the racks, going on to the variant shelf, and all the rest. You can certainly check out the previous video, which will show you all of the new graphic novels and so forth that have been to the store this week. And outside of that, I'm here for Wednesday. I'm here for New Comic Book Day, so I'll see you lovely people then. Until then, hope this proved useful. Hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy.